So thank you very much for having me present today. I'm going to start a little bit with a story. As the speaker mentioned, that I attended various universities. One of them was Cambridge University. So I did my post-grad project here in the UAE. And when I came with the opportunity to come here, I thought of that story because I met this lovely gentleman by the name of Ahmed. And Ahmed was going to begin trading. And he was having a date farm. And he was trading trees, dates all over the world. And I met Ahmed here in Dubai. And he said, Jerry, I'm trying to offset my Forex risk. I want to diversify my portfolio. But I have all of these brokers, and I'm not sure which one to get. But what really fascinated me was Ahmed, he said, they even come to me and they say it's for free. And it's incredible because your business, everything is given away for free. But in our business, we need to make money. And I said, Ahmed, it's a fallacy. Nothing is for free. We're in a capitalist society and we somehow or another are going to extract something out of you. However, Ahmed, what you need to know as a consumer before you buy is that the entity that you do business with is forefront and transparent. And that's the whole principle of my presentation today. No different when I came here post Cambridge University to do the project and I met Ahmed. He had this beautiful date tree that he showed me. And I said, wow, I'm fascinated from someone that's never seen a date tree. And I said, Ahmed, when you price this, how do you price it? He goes, Jerry, I price the dates. You know, if the dates are good, that's the price I'm willing to pay, and that's what the customer is willing to pay. But I said, Ahmed, what about the rest of the tree? He goes, what do you mean, Jerry? I go, my understanding is, Ahmed, what do you do with the palms? He goes, we take the palms, we take the threads, and we use it to do crafts. What do you do with the wood, Ahmed? He goes, we use the wood to build things. So I said, Ahmed, your principle of pricing is so much like the financial markets. It's the principle of what is the economic value to the customer. And you, as the consumer that's going to be here with 60,000 people going across different types of platforms, need to know, what am I looking for? So let's look a little bit of what is value. Everybody thinks that when I go out and I buy something, whether it's a retail product, whether it's a financial product, the least amount I pay is the value that I get. However, Ahmed felt the same thing. And I said, Ahmed, so you're telling me that if you decide to trade Forex or stock and you call someone and it takes you 2 or 3 days in order to make an execution, that doesn't matter. And he goes, no, Jerry, those markets are very volatile. I need that execution right away. Fair enough. Go, Ahmed. Is it important when you open up an application that it's a pretty smooth operation, that it's going to take you 10, 15 minutes, or is it going to take you days? He goes, no, Jerry, time is money to me. If it's going to take me that long, I don't want to deal with it. I go, Ahmed, is customer service important to you? And he goes, yes. So all of those are value propositions that you as the consumer need to take notice. You're not going out to buy the least expensive product. You're there about buying quality. So there's a framework that is used around the world. And one of the reasons why I came here for my post-grad project was to basically interact with different individuals like Ahmed. And it's a very simple formula. And I hope you use this formula to assess what value your broker comes to you. The first one is value, right? So what is the value of product A? Doesn't matter whether it's an iPhone or whether it's a Forex trade. It's the value of that product less the price that you pay, which comes out to be the net value of what you're willing to pay. That's the principle that every consumer does and every consumer has. Now, what is very important is what this market is now experiencing for the first time in a long time. There's transparency, where you have the tools and the means to go compare all the brokers. There's third parties that are now comparing us as an industry across the board, from the trading platforms, from the commissions, from the interest, from the customer service, and that's good for you as a consumer. So you have the opportunity to compare what product B offers against product A. Now, if we move along here, in conclusion, when you go look for a broker dealer of how to do business, whether you're going to go trade or open an account, what you're looking for is the economic value to you. What differentiates that broker from the reference price that he's going to charge you? If they're going to charge you $1 for an execution, if they're going to charge you 50 bips for a Forex trade, it's not just about the price. It's about the value, the platform. It's about how well they secure your money, how well they service you. Those are the value propositions that you have to pay for, not the cheapest. Now, let's see that framework in business. Have you ever heard of Investopedia? It's a very large third-party objective website. So they made a survey into the market around the world, including the MENA region, and they came up with these in the same order of what you, the consumer, believe is important. The first one is account amenities. The second one is the range of offerings. The more products I'm able to trade, the better. Platform experience. I want to have a platform that I could engage, that's simple. I want to have the ability to move up and use a different platform that is going to grow with me, but at no extra cost. Trading technology and tools was number 4th, and 5th was costs. And that was a big surprise to Ahmed. Ahmed believed that I want to pay the lowest price to choose a broker. However, 8 out of 10 consumers in the MENA region, as well as around the world, had costs at number 5. Then you had portfolio analysis, mobile usability, security, and emotional material. So as you could see, this is the value proposition that the broker offers you. It's not the lowest fee in order to execute, because you want speed, you want reliability, you want to put money into a broker that's going to protect your money. Because if something happens to the broker, then something goes wrong. You want to have the highest standards. Interactive brokers, we don't give leverage of 10,000 to 1. We don't give leverage of 2,000 to 1. We don't give leverage of 500 to 1. And the reasons why is because you can make a lot more money with a lot of leverage. However, the majority of consumers lose when they trade. Therefore, you're going to lose more than what you have, and that's not the standards or the ethics that we're about. So we price value for the customers, and it's pretty much the same categories. As you could see, the cost is not as important as the value proposition. So let's plug that in. Same formula, and now let's go compare around the world how we compare to the market. Here's Interactive Brokers, and here's a comparison of our company that's based out of the United Kingdom, and we just opened up an office here in Dubai. We allow 3 million customers, whether they're institutional or individuals, to trade. We're a $62 billion company with market cap with a public float on NASDAQ, IBKR. We're obligated and we're committed to protect your funds before we go out and exceed the leverage of 500, 100, or 75 to 1. Your livelihood matters to us. We're not going to cannibalize you to make money. So here is the insight that Ahmed was very surprised, and our consumers are. If I go buy 100 shares in the United Kingdom, brokers will come to you and they say, it's zero commissions, nothing to go, it's all free. It's never free, I promise you. So here, what most brokers won't tell you is, if you deposit one currency, like GBP or the local currency, they force you to convert at the end of the day or before the transaction. However, there's a cost on every conversion. And that is the variable, what we see right here. We charge 0.03% for the Forex trades. However, that's what you don't see because you're not aware of it. So when you go out and you go compare brokers and you look at the value proposition, look for the hidden insight, which is primarily why you're here, because it's a Forex expo, is that the extra fee is the FX. As you could see, zero commissions, zero commissions, zero commissions. However, when you add it up, it's not zero. The value proposition of a broker is important to you, not the soundbite that it's free, not that they're the lowest cost. The soundbite to you and the question that you should be asking is that you want to see the full customer journey and you want to see every cost that goes into your trade. Because how many of you knew that when you go trade an international product that you have the FX exposure, where that broker is going to convert and charge you not 0.03 of a basis points, but the majority will charge you 0.25, 0.25, 0.50. So when you go in to buy, it's 0.25, and when you go to sell, it's 0.25. So you may make 1 or 2 points, but you lose it on the FX. Credibility and reputation are so important at Interactive Brokers. That has allowed us for 47 years now to build customer bases in over 200 countries. There's 235 sovereign countries. We've got 35 more to go. The MENA region is one of the highest focus centers for us as a broker-dealer. And just 2 weeks ago, we opened up an office here because we believe we have some of the most educated and well insightful customers. And the goal today has been to provide you the ability to ask the right question. And you don't have to go out and try to open an account with us. What we ask you to do is compare us freely and equitable against any broker-dealer that's here or abroad. We're here to earn your trust and earn your business. Questions? I guess this is the time I'm leaving myself for 2 minutes for questions. Does anybody have a question? Yes, sir. I can't hear you if you don't mind.
Hello?
Yeah. I use IB a lot for long-term investment in ETFs. So because some of the local brokers are already giving us 0% transaction fees. So if the IB has office here, can we get a lower transaction fees?
So you using Interactive Brokers?
Yeah,
0.03.
Yeah.
And your question is what? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
So some of the UAE brokers here, especially like Sarwa, they give us very competitive. They don't charge the transaction fees.
Do they go lower or they don't charge you?
They don't charge transaction
Which
fees.
is fine, but like I said, it's not about the lowest price, but it's about the value proposition. Broker dealers take your money and they need to protect it. They need to segregate it. At Interactive Brokers, we don't give you leverage of 5,000 to 1. We don't give you leverage of 100 to 1 because the majority of you are going to lose. And if you lose, it's not good for the industry and it's not good for us to earn your trust or other customers. So when they cannibalize our fees and they want to charge you lower, you have to think of the previous slides. Are our platforms as good? Is a $62 billion company like Interactive Brokers safer to handle the volatility to protect your money, or a company with a capitalization less than $1 million? That's for you to decide.
No, I agree because I your services a lot.
Sorry?
For a long-term investment, I use the IB.
Good. I appreciate that.
ETF.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions? Sir? And by the way, Ahmed opened up an account. However, he decided to trade around the world and he became very successful.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. You said you don't offer leverage of 500 to 1, you don't offer 100 to 1. What is the highest leverage you can offer in terms of CFDs? But I also know that you do futures, right?
We do futures.
Okay.
So for the majority of the markets that we offer, they're on exchange. The reason why we do that, we're very regulated, maybe one of the most or the most regulated entities around the world that offers direct connectivity to 150 different markets. So if we're tied to that exchange, we match what the exchange charges to professionals and we pass it on to you. So for futures, usually the rule is 2% to 5%. Okay? Other questions? Sir? Just right in the middle there. I guess this is going to be the last question. I just to let you know, we did open an office. Got my colleagues here. Feel free to reach out to us. We're willing to answer more of your questions. Sir?
I also have a question about leverage. So my question is, we all know in Europe, the regulators say you can have, as a, retail trader, not a professional one, 1 to 30 leverage. But I want your personal opinion about how do you think that would change? Do you think the regulations will change and offer 1 to 100 maybe to retail traders? And how do you think how do you think the requirements of becoming a professional trader would be? Because now I think it's a very high capital, maybe
Sure.
500,000, and professional education and also experience.
What I think is happening in the market is a renaissance. You as a consumer are being educated freely and openly, and you have more opportunities than you ever had before. So now you are able to ask the right questions, and that's going to demand a shift in the market. When it comes to regulated markets, like European markets, you do see that there are regulations in order not to exceed the leverage. But unfortunately, what you're going to see with such high leverage is that the balance sheet of these broker dealers are at stake. And if you're like Ahmed would only put money with a very regulated entity that has a huge amount of capital. And the reason why? Because we all know that when you're in the digital world, volatility in the marketplace could create disruption. If those broker dealers, and we've seen it in the past, right? We've seen the Lehmans, we've seen the Beges, right? Where there was a disruption in the market and they financially could not stay afloat. And they imploded, and that basically risked their consumer money. And I believe you as a consumer, as the education goes on, you're going to demand that your broker dealer's capitalization far exceeds of the risk that they're offering their customers.
Thank you, but what's your personal opinion? Is it going to change or is it not going to change?
I
It
think
will
it's going to
remain
change
130?
to be more conservative, my personal opinion.
Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you. Enjoy the day.